8:31. Good morning. Welcome to the Link. Senator Telo Taitague, the KUAM News Link Zoom room. Good morning, Senator.
Good morning, Chris. It's so good to see you, and I'm sure everybody out there feels the same, to hear your voice again. And if they're watching on Facebook, see your gorgeous face. Okay, it sounds like I'm kissing up to you. Oh my gosh. I don't mean to kiss up to you at all, Chris.
No, please stop it some more, Senator. It's the time of the year.
I love that saying, sorry, but I don't mean to do that. No.
Well, good morning.
You're an okay guy.
I try. My daughter says I'm funny, handsome. I'm going with that.
Oh, funny, handsome. Yeah. If anybody can bring a smile to me, and I'm sure everybody out there who's listening too, when they need to smile, that they listen to you, because not only you bring some bad news, but you also bring the good news too, and you do it in a way that makes us all smile. Begins our day right, with a smile. Everybody should smile.
Thank you, Senator. Wow, we're recording this, right, sir? Okay, I got it. It's on the record, officially on the record.
Don't hold this against me now.
Well, Senator, we had Lasia Casil, the director of the Hagatnya, the HRA, the Hurrah, on earlier. She was pretty real. She said she anticipates you guys are going to vote down the Hagatnya redevelopment master plan tomorrow. So she's already working on an informational roundtable hearing in a couple weeks. But just, I guess, if we could start with your concerns about the master plan.
I think it's not only my concerns, but many of us senators on the floor have a concern with this 200+ page, plan that was put in front of us. And during the public hearing, there weren't that many people, as you know, showing up for public hearing. Usually about 4 senators or 3. And this is an important, bill to pass. It's a $550 million project. It was once upon a time $1 billion project, but they put in front of us something to the range of 550 million. And we should be taking our time on this instead of passing it, especially when you're giving carte blanche to the Board of Hagatnya Restoration the authority to zone property without going through the process. All they have to do is have a public hearing. Not only zone, but can condemn property. They have that authority to do so. And that's pretty scary, especially when you're passing this huge plan in Hagatnya, where a lot of the questions that we asked were not answered. So during the public hearing, I made mention that we should have a roundtable to completely discuss this thoroughly. And Senator Brown concurred with that as well. I mentioned when it was her turn to speak. This is something that's needed. We don't want to go down that road, Chris. We've been down that road with projects like Simon Sanchez, the Laddie Housing Project, and Guam doesn't have a good track record with following through with plans or even running facilities. Example, the receiverships from DPW to DOE to DOC to mental health. I think it's time that we don't rush these things through. We take our time. And I have to commend Lasia for trying very hard. She met with senators, sat down with them, tried to explain. But I think that the public needs to be involved, not just the senators, but the public has to see what's going on. And if we have this roundtable discussion, that's exactly what's going to happen. It's going to be on the air, on TV, on live stream, and everybody can listen in. So I'm glad she's moving in that direction and address those concerns.
What would you say, Senator, to those who would counter your sentiments you expressed and say that, this master plan took 25 years? It isn't rushed.
Well, 25 years with different administrations, with different directors involved. Yeah, it's something that should have been done a little bit sooner, but sometimes it's not their fault, those who are putting this plan together, because, for instance, we found out the Army Corps of Engineers had to step back from providing the flood mitigation report and study. And that's very important. We were told in committee rules that they had to step back because they were doing the infrastructure. I'd like to see that letter, because if anybody who does any reporting on shoreline areas, it comes from Army Corps of Engineers. And why aren't they doing this survey, this plan or survey on the flood mitigation? So that there's, like I said, a lot of unanswered questions at this point. And for those who, for 25 years, who talked about this has been in the plan, one of the biggest concerns are the 8 components that they put in at the beginning of page 1-1, and you can see it on the website in the committee report. They have 8 components, yet only 3 were included in the attachments. And it makes you wonder, excuse me, it makes you wonder, okay, 3, well, what happened to the remaining 5? Why aren't they incorporated in this plan? And their comment was, oh, it's a living document. So it makes you think, okay, it's a living document. That means after we accept this plan, you're going to be able to just approve the other 5 components without legislative approval? Nobody could answer that. And one of them included finances. One of them included the finances. There was another one that was really, well, the flood mitigation, of course. It wasn't even in there. Of all things, the flood mitigation plan was not there. So I think they need to go back to the drawing board, or at least sit down with us and give us a better plan, during the roundtable on how to move forward, so that when they come back to this legislature for approval, they've done their due diligence, so other than that.
So what kind of questions are you going to ask in the roundtable hearing in a couple weeks?
Well, I'd like to see the document from the Army Corps of Engineers explaining to us why they had to pull out from doing a study on flood mitigation. I'd like to see that the financial plan, how are they, right now, if we pass this plan, it gives them carte blanche to go out and borrow funding on this and use the 35% of public property in Hagåtña as collateral without going through the legislature. That's pretty scary. We could lose Serena Park. We could lose, our plaza, because they weren't able to pay on it. Or of course, it'll force the hand of Gov Guam to start going into the general fund to pay for it, because we don't want to lose the park. So there's a process, I think, that was taken out of what Hagåtña Restoration should be doing. And that is, when it comes to zoning, follow the zoning process. It's not just a matter of, having one public hearing and then make the decision amongst members of the commission. Condemning land the same way, especially finances. So the finance section of it, I think we're going to try and do something with the current legislation, the enabling legislation that governs Hagåtña Restoration, to change that. Because right now, technically right now, they can do that zoning right now without the process. All they need to do is, and they can take land. And that's all they have to do is to have a public hearing. So
do you think that's going to be part of the cleanup, is to go in and maybe put some of these legislative checks on a lot of the powers that they have?
Right, absolutely. And I think also it's going to help us see the path forward on, a step-by-step project, how we're going to fund this, most especially how we're going to fund this $550 million giant. Don't get me wrong, it's something I'd like to see in Hagåtña. I'd like to see less, making the Hagåtña a cement, location, with everything cemented. I'd like to maintain that island feel in our capital city. So, so hopefully we can come to an agreement and everybody put their 2 cents in, as well as the public, most especially those living in Hagåtña. I'm hoping that we can have some residents who living in Hagatna also attend the roundtable discussion. So I'm hoping the invitation will go out to quite a few people. So that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I could see. I've been to. I forget where I've been, but I've been to places where they have the river walks, and I could see the idea of how it's going to change the capital city. What I don't know is if it's going to happen in my lifetime, right?
Yeah, same here. I don't know, but let's.
I mean,
let's
is it going to be another 25 years or what?
Yeah, well, let's do a plan that doesn't end up costing us more than 550 million. And well, I don't know if that the delay on it may cost us because the price is going up. If inflation will go up, but let's not pay additional money for a mistake. So.
Talk about that override attempt. So can you just give us a little backstory, Senator, on this bill? And this was. I said it earlier, relative to rules and regs for adoption agencies setting up shop on Guam.
Right. Yes, we passed the bill on the floor. It garnered 9 votes, and this bill was very simple. It was introduced by myself, Speaker Chalahi, Senator Brown, and Sabina Paris. And the bill just simply requires anybody who wants to open up an adoption agency that they have to go through Rev and Tax and get clearance there, and then go to Rev and Tax and go to Department of Public Health and Social Services and get clearance there, and then go to Rev and Tax, and from there they would get their business license. It's like any other type of business license that you receive. If you're opening a restaurant, if you're opening a business, you have to go to these regulatory agencies to get checked off before you get your license. Well, currently right now, anybody can come into this island and open up an adoption agency and not require any background checks, especially you're dealing with our most vulnerable. All you have to do is go up to Rev and Tax and get a service license, and that's it. So the bill has that requirement. They must get approved by public health before getting their license. So 9 senators voted. Those who voted against it were Senator San Augustine, Senator Barnes, Senator Amanda. They voted against it. I'm not sure. I think those 2, there was only 9, but you never know how many's in session anymore.
Yeah. Quite a few absences, I hear. Senator,
now she vetoed it.
Yeah, so the governor vetoed it, but can we go back just a little bit? So all of this kind of started with this this adoption agency that opened up on Guam, right? This is the
right.
Ohana Adoption Agency. And so this kind of all started with this company coming here, right? So what is the big issue with you trying to set in procedures for them to be licensed? Because it kind of seems like it's a no-brainer, but what's the pushback?
Well, that's the $1 million question. I mean, I can think of some scandalous theories, but I have no idea why they would not want to ensure that our children of Guam, especially those who are most vulnerable, and I don't understand why. It boggles me why they would hold this back. Senator Mary Torres introduced a bill. I mean, it was even in the media that she's putting the cart before the horse, allowing this adoption agency to be part of public health's board to discuss where children shall go. And it just, that was a battle in itself last year, a huge battle. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to, along with other senators, wasn't able to block that bill. So what I did was introduce another bill to at least correct that, some of the current law. It's just, I'm sorry, it's emotional because I've worked very hard on this, very hard to protect our children here, especially those who are being adopted and every time I think of the that story in the Marshall Islands about human trafficking and how a company just came into their island, opened up, made friends with the locals there, and then opened up an adoption agency with no regulations or anything like that, and ended up, it was a business for human trafficking. And he was basically, selling these children who were born there. And finally, he was caught in, I think it was Arkansas. And so it's just so disheartening, but I'm not going to give up the fight. And I hope the people of Guam will not give up the fight. And I'm asking everyone, please, if this one simple bill that would at least provide some kind of protection, as simple as this, to write to your senators, please override this bill that the governor vetoed, Bill 239. Please override Bill 239-36. And we can all make a difference, because right now certain laws are in place that were put in last year that leaves the door open for human trafficking. And this company is on island right now advertising, come give us your child. If you don't want your child, we'll take it. And makes you wonder, this is so sad. Public health is doing a great job when it comes to, their part in fostering children, placing children, and reuniting them with their parents, I just, I don't know what else to say, but I ask the people of Guam, help me in this fight, please, and write to your senators and please override Bill 239.
Do you have the votes, Senator?
Right now, I had 9 individuals voting yes on this bill, but one of them was Senator Peter Tolahi, but I believe he is not on island right now and will probably be going to vote tomorrow or tomorrow Monday. So that would take away 1. So the only other people who voted no on this bill was Senator St. Augustine, Senator Tina Barnes, and Amanda Shelton. And Senator Talina Nelson wasn't there during the voting of this bill. I guess last session, she was not on island. She's here now. And I'm hoping, well, she's an advocate for children. I mean, she put out this bill. I mean, for the unborn child, she's an advocate. She's an advocate for protecting our kids. So I'm hoping that she has an opportunity to vote on this bill as well, the override on this bill. So those are the 4 people who I'm hoping will consider this.
Well, good luck, Senator.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And, I'm not going to give up. I'll keep trying. So even though I sound like I'm defeated here, sometimes, usually I'm up, right? I'm up and running. But,
just have some more coffee. That works for me.
Yeah, I think I need something to prep me up. But, I'll keep going, regardless. They might have punched me right here, but I'll stand right back, dust it off. They say dust it off and keep moving. So that's what I'll do.
Thank you, Senator. Have a good day.
Well, create a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
There you go. Minority Senator Telo Taitague. Quick break, and we're coming back with GCC. Next, right here on the link. It's 8:51. Good morning.
It's Customer Appreciation Month.
Start off your middays with the menu on KUAM News Hotspot, your preview to the big news items. Broadcast on KUAM TV 8 weekdays at noon with live stream on our social media platforms, plus an encore at 5 p.m. on KUAM TV 11.
The menu, brought to you by King's Restaurant, always open, always local, and Ruby Tuesday Guam, home of the fresh Garden Bar.